Princess Diana's last words. EMTs will remember that night. What were Princess Diana's last words? The firefighter on the scene of Princess Diana's accident revealed the last words she spoke before her death in an interview with The Independent. According to the firefighter, Xavier Grueling, the Princess of Wales asked, "My God, what has happened?" The late Diana. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on notifications bell and like. Princess of Wales was born the Honourable Diana Frances Spencer on July 1, 1961 in Norfolk. She received the style Lady Diana Spencer in 1975, when her father inherited his earldom. Childhood and teenage years. Diana, Princess of Wales, formerly Lady Diana Frances Spencer, was born on July 1, 1961 at Park House near Sandringham, Norfolk. She was the youngest daughter of the then Viscount and Viscountess Althorpe, now the late A.T.H. Earl Spencer, and the late Honourable Mrs. Shan Kidd, daughter of the 4th Baron Fermoy. Until her father inherited the earldom, she was styled the Honourable Diana Spencer. Marriage and family. On February 24, 1981, it was officially announced that Lady Diana was to marry the Prince of Wales. As neighbours at Sandringham until 1975, their families had known each other for many years, and Lady Diana and the Prince had met again when he was invited to a weekend at Althorpe in November 1977. They were married at St. Paul's Cathedral in London on July 29, 1981. In a ceremony which drew a global television and radio audience estimated at around 1,000 million people, and hundreds of thousands of people lining the route from Buckingham Palace to the cathedral. The wedding reception was at Buckingham Palace. The princess was the first Englishwoman to marry an heir to the throne for 300 years. Wynne and Hyde married the future James II, from whom the princess was descended. The Prince and Princess of Wales spent part of their honeymoon at the Mountbatten family home at Broadlands, Hampshire, before flying to Gibraltar to join the royal yacht HMY Britannia for a 12-day cruise through the Mediterranean to Egypt. They finished their honeymoon with a stay at Balmoral. The Prince and Princess made their principal home at Highgrove House near Tedbury, Gloucestershire, with an apartment in Kensington Palace as their London home. During her marriage, the princess was president or patron of over 100 charities. The princess did much to publicize work on behalf of homeless and also disabled people, children and people with HIV/AIDS. They had 2 sons. Prince William Arthur Philip Louis was born on June 21, 1982, and Prince Harry Charles Albert David on September 15, 1984. Both at St. Mary's Hospital, Paddington, in London. The princess had 17 godchildren. In December 1992, it was announced that the Prince and Princess of Wales had agreed to separate. The princess based her household and her office at Kensington Palace, while the prince was based at St. James's Palace and continued to live at Highgrove. In November 1995, the princess gave a television interview during which she spoke of her unhappiness in her personal life and the pressures of her public role. The prince and princess were divorced on August 28, 1996. The prince and princess continued to share equal responsibility for the upbringing of their children. The princess continued to be regarded as a member of the royal family. The Queen. The Prince and the Princess of Wales agreed that the princess was to be known after the divorce as Diana, Princess of Wales, without the style of Her Royal Highness, as the princess was given the style HRH. On marriage, she would therefore be expected to give it up on divorce. The princess continued to live at Kensington Palace, with her office based there. Following her divorce, the princess resigned most of her charity and other patronages and relinquished all her service appointments with military units. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on notifications bell and like. The princess remained as patron of Centrepoint. Homeless charity, English National Ballet Leprosy Mission and National AIDS Trust, and as president of the Hospital for Sick Children, Great Ormond Street, and of the Royal Marsden Hospital. In the year before her death, the princess was an active campaigner for a ban on the manufacture and use of landmines. In January 1997, she visited Angola as part of her campaign. In June, the princess spoke at the Landmines Conference at the Royal Geographical Society in London. And this was followed by a visit to Washington, D.C. in the United States on 17.18 June to promote the American Red Cross Landmines Campaign. Separately, she also met Mother Teresa in the Bronx, New York. The princess's last public engagements were during her visit to Bosnia from 7 to August 10, when she visited landmine projects in Travnik, Sarajevo, and Zenica. The tragic death of Diana, Princess of Wales, occurred on Sunday, August 31, 1997, following a car accident in Paris, France. The vehicle in which the princess was traveling was involved in a high-speed accident in the Place de l'Alma underpass in central Paris shortly before midnight on Saturday, August 30th. The princess was taken to the La Petite-Salpêtrière Hospital, where she underwent 2 hours of emergency surgery before being declared dead at 0300 BST. The princess's companion, Mr. Dodi Fayed, and the driver of the vehicle died in the accident, whilst a bodyguard was seriously injured. The princess's body was subsequently repatriated to the United Kingdom in the evening of Sunday, August 31st by a Bay 146 aircraft of the Royal Squadron. The Prince of Wales and the princess's elder sisters, Lady Sarah McCorquodale and Lady Jane Fellows, accompanied the princess's coffin on its return journey. It was in recognition of her charity work that representatives of the charities with which she worked during her life were invited to walk behind her coffin with her family from St. James's Palace to Westminster Abbey on the day of her funeral. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications bell and like.